Hope y'all doing good. What's going on, people? What is going on? All right, we got 6 people already, man. Y'all ready to ride? Y'all ready to roll through this thing? How's everyone doing? I don't know who's here yet, but I just want to talk about something, man. This stuff I be talking about, I find sit out there, man, and I think I need to share with you guys. I need to have this conversation. Just talk with you guys, let you guys know what's going on out here. What's up, Stephanie Wynn? Always a pleasure, man. Stephanie Wynn, always supporting, man. Thank you, Stephanie, for popping through. You got 18 people already jammed in here, man. We getting ready to cut it loose, folks. You ready to go? I want to talk to you guys about what I want to talk to you guys about today. Of course, you guys see the title, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, also America's Depression. Um, and I don't know if this is going to be exactly what you guys are expecting, because if you're expecting drama, you know, or gossip, that's not what I do. I'm not here to entertain anybody. I'm here to give you some information to help uplift you, to help you go, to help all of us to get in a better place, man. We in the middle of I still say it's an unnecessary pandemic, but we're in it, and with the hindsight of that, we still got to do our best. But I want to talk about something, that I've been sharing for years, right? I want to start by talking about our depression, right? No, I'm not gonna start with the depression. I'm gonna start with Jada and Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. I'm gonna start with that because I know that's the first thing y'all saw. Y'all didn't see the other half of the title. Y'all saw Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, and everybody posting about entanglement and all that shit, and everybody like all on that, right? That proves a point, man. Let me just tell you what that proves the point of. I'm gonna tell you what that point is. For so many years, I've always said this, and this is heavily amongst our African American community. Don't get mad. This is fact. This is fact, folks. This is fact, but I'm about to share with you. I said, and have always said this, and I continue to say this today, and it's been proven just recently, right? Many of us saw the Red Table with Jada Pinkett. Okay, that's a Facebook show that she has. You got to understand something, folks. It's not just her doing Red Table. She has promoters. She have marketing people who are brand strategists. She has those people in her arsenal to promote any shows and events that is successful, right? It's not successful because this is her idea to just do it. It's also successful because she has a team of individuals who are experts in certain areas, marketing, right? Public relations, things like that. And you got to understand that she has some of the best people. When you have a lot of money, you have some of the best people to get your stuff out there to the masses. As a matter of fact, people have so much money, they have people who knows the marketplace, who knows the mindset of the people, just like the media knows the mindset of the people. That's why they keep posting up false numbers about coronavirus and stuff, because they know who is going to be following that. They know how to control your mind. They know how to direct you exactly where they want to take you. And celebrities, they're the same way. They have people in their arsenal that knows the same thing in terms of marketing and PR work, right? Jada Pinkett knows that. The people that she hires to get her stuff out there also knows that. And here's what they know. Here's what they know. They know that African Americans are not education based. African Americans are typically entertainment based. We want to be more entertained than we want to be educated. Now, don't get mad and say, well, I know somebody, or I want to be educated. No, I'm not talking about 1 or 2%. I'm talking about the masses. We are heavily entertainment based. If you go over into Bangalore, India, or over into Bangladesh, China, countries all the way over there. Those countries are typically, folks, they are typically education based. You take the average person who studies IT over in India, they come right over here and listen to me. I'm 20 years plus in the IT industry. They come right over here from India and right off the bat becomes your IT director, your IT manager. They hardly are ever just regular IT people. They are always in management. Why is that? It's not because of favoritism. It's not by luck. It's because they focus more on education than they do on entertainment. Versus us here, we focus more on entertainment than we do on education. So when people are making fun of Jada Pinkett saying entanglement, right? You have to understand something. All of that stuff that they do, folks, is scripted. You have her and her husband talking one-on-one on a red table. Do you think her husband will purposely throw his wife out there to the public under the bus? You got to understand something, folks. That is scripted. It was planned, okay? And they told their PR and their marketing people how they wanted it to go. And their PR person designed the script, and the marketing people were the ones who are responsible for putting it out there because they understand the target. They understand the crowd, the target audience that loves gossip. Loves gossip, love drama. They say will go great to our gossip and drama audience. This is exactly how we're going to heavily push it. And guess what? People from their drama and gossip audience was posting it all over social media. See, they only have to do it but once. It's a thing called residual income, folks. They did it one time. Residual income meaning you do something one time, just one time, and gets paid for it over and over and over and over again. And that happens when you understand and you know your target audience. This is when I talk about business, I keep telling people you have to understand what your target audience is, right? Me, typically, I tell people my target audience is the planet. But if it depends on certain aspects of my business that I want to get out, I know there's an audience for every aspect of my business, right? So understanding that, and I know how to market that to that particular audience. For instance, if you are interested in starting your own business, I know how to get and market. If you're over in California and I'm over in Florida, I know how to get my market out there, my information out there through my marketing strategy to people who want to start their businesses. And those who don't want to start their businesses, they won't even see it. They won't even see it come up on that timeline. So I know how to engage and get the right people to engage. If you look at my business page, my J. Hunter Lee business page, I have over 12,000 people, and I got that in a very fast period of time because I wiped that clean and rebranded that page. I already got up to 12,000 people within a month. Why? It's because I know the content that I put out there on that page, I know who is going to reach, and I know how to target that audience. So this is the same thing that they've done. They had their PR person to say, okay, if we put it out this way, this is how it's going to be received by this particular audience. Okay, this is how we want to put it out there to that particular audience. So what do? They go to the marketing people and say, okay, this is the strategy. We already got it. How are we going to have it? We already got the PR on it. And this is how we want you guys to brand it. This is what the demographics look like that we want this to go out to. And they put them demographics out there. The marketing team, they put that out there, put it out there, and they hit the right audience today. It's planned, folks. This is how you do business strategy. This is how you do marketing strategy. You know, part of my business is a brand strategist. That's part of what I do. So I understand what they've done. I know what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing, and they're making money. Let me tell you something. As you think that making fun of Jada Pinkett, right? You think that making fun of Jada Pinkett is going to hurt her? It was planned, folks. This is what I tell you guys about how people play chess and your asses are still playing Connect Four. You got to understand something here. Jada Pinkett Smith, her net worth is $50 million. $50 million, folks. 50 million. You know what Will Smith net worth is? $250 million. So one household between the two of them, right? That's $300 million of net worth between the both of them in one household. And the round table is sitting there reading. Yeah, Erica, they fall for anything. So they are strategizing. They put this strategy out there for you guys to do what you want to do with it. Oh, look, then y'all start putting up memes talking about entanglement. Do you know how much money they're getting from this? Do you know how much money that Facebook cuts them off of because Facebook is making money? And let me tell you something. Every time you look at a video and that video gets cut, not get cut, but that video gets interrupted by some ad video, and then the ad got to finish. The ad runs for like 15 seconds, and then it comes back to the video again. Did you know that the people who pays those ads, that goes to the people who creates the video? Did you guys know that? You got to understand business strategies, folks. These people are doing business strategies. They playing chess. Your asses are playing Connect Four. This is why I keep telling black folks, man, listen, stop being entertainment based. A long-time friend of mine said one thing. They said, rich people educate themselves. Poor people entertain themselves. So you got to decide which side of the money that you want to be on. Between the two of them, their net worth between the two of them in one household is $300 million. And they put a product out there and reeled you in. They threw the hook out there and you bit the hook. Don't get mad at me. I'm just calling it like it is, folks. And those of you who've seen my videos in the past, sometimes I do cuss people out, but there are other times where I'm just really, really just giving you hard truth. One of my influencers named Tony Robbins, you know what he said? He said, the truth will set you free, but it will piss you off first. So if you want to get pissed at me, don't get pissed at me. Get pissed at the situation and go out there and say what you need to do with yourself. Pick up some books and read it. Start self-educating yourself. That goes a long, long way, folks. Jim Rohn said this perfectly. He said, formal education, you can earn a living. But with self-education, you can earn a fortune. Are you interested in earning a fortune? And if you are, pick up a damn book. Start reading something. Don't pick up the kind of books that's going to feed your current behavior. That's not growing. You got to pick up a book that's going to challenge your current behavior. Keep you up on the up and up. Put your mindset at a place where it says, damn, it is more than what I was just thinking. I can do more. I can do different. I can be different. I can be better. You see, there's two things. There's two B's, folks. You got to go decide which direction you want to go. Either you want to be bitter or you want to be better. The choice is yours. But it starts with the mind. Listen to this, folks. Put this in the comments if you have anything else to write. Put this in the comments for me. Poverty and prosperity both come from the same place. That's right, Donna. Put that in the comments. Poverty and prosperity both come from the same place. So the choice is ultimately yours, folks. It depends on where you want to go with it. If you're entertained by a round table of some entanglement, you're entertained by what celebrities who are married, who slept with somebody else, if that shit entertains you, man, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Your net worth is probably $150 to $200 of a net worth. That's probably your net worth. If that shit is what entertains you, if that type of shit is what you allow to stimulate your mind, if that the type of stuff is what you allow to stimulate your mind, I can tell you right now that your net worth is probably around $200 at best. And don't get mad, folks. I'm just laying it out there. I'm laying it out there. And I wanted to talk, and the reason why I have those two topics there, talk about Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, and America's depression, because I want to call your attention to that. I want to call your attention to that. Thank you, Ray, for repeating that. Poverty and prosperity come from the same place. And let me tell you something. I want to direct your attention to something. See, because we're allowing ourselves to get our minds stimulated by bullshit like that. Entertainment. But let me tell you what's happening while we're entertained. While we're being entertained, America is heading into a depression. I'm not sure if it's a German style depression. No, I won't say it's a German style depression yet, but we're headed into a depression. And what is a depression? What is a German style depression? That's what you need to realize. What is a German style depression? A German style depression is hyperinflation. Oh, hyperinflation. That's like inflation on steroids. I'm talking about a loaf of bread costing you about $1,000. That's hyperinflation. We're not quite there at a German style depression. You don't want that. But if you're not going to educate yourself as a whole, we will be into a German style depression because we have to take some responsibility here. Yeah, we're in a lockdown, we're in a pandemic. The government did that. The government did that, but we also have our own responsibility too. And that is to make ourselves better. That is to prepare ourselves for what's getting ready to happen after this pandemic is over. Because once this pandemic is over, guess what? You're still going to be in a recession for another about 18 months. You're still going to be in a recession. The recession is not going to just turn around and be over it just because the pandemic is over. It's going to take a long period of time, folks. A long period of time. If you look on my post, I put a lot of lists of companies that's going filing for bankruptcy, getting ready to close. You know, American Airlines just laid off about 3,000 people. About 3,000 people. If they go out of business, can you imagine how many abandoned airplanes just sitting all around the world? Just nobody to operate it. Nobody. You're talking about you can't travel now. It's gonna be hard to travel when it's airlines open anymore. It's gonna require somebody to try to buy them out or something, or try to put money into them so they can reoperate the airlines again. They just laid off 3,000 people. Are you guys taking this serious, or are you out here pump faking with your life? And let me tell you something. Don't think your 401k is going to do. Let me tell you something. Your 401k ain't shit. I did a video with that back in 2017. The title was "Your 401k Ain't Shit." That was the actual title of it about 4 years ago. And let me explain to you why. Let's go back to 1971. 1971, President Nixon took the American dollar off the gold standard. President Nixon in 1971, without the consent of Congress, took the American dollar off the gold standard. So at that time, money had became currency. See, you got to understand, there's a difference between money and currency. Here's the difference. The money is backed by something substantial, such as gold. Currency is not backed by anything. Currency is what is called flowing. It's called current. Current. That's where currency comes from. It has to flow in order for it to make its way through an economy. That's why it's called currency, because it's current. It has to flow. Cash flow. Okay. Now, because the American dollar had became currency, the American dollar started losing its value. And as it started to lose its value, what happened was people who retired companies were no longer able to support retired employees anymore. Okay. Guys, stay with me. I'm about to hit you with some shit, man. I know some shit. You hold on. Because after President Nixon took the American dollar off the gold standard in 1971, for about 2.5, 3 years, companies was having problems paying people's retirement. So what happened? There was an act called the ERISA Act. The ERISA Act is the Employee Retirement Income Security Act. Okay. With that act had to be formed because companies couldn't afford to pay people's retirement anymore because the American dollar lost its value. It's no longer being backed by gold. President Nixon took it off the gold standard. So they came up with the ERISA Act. Again, it's called the ERISA Act. The acronym is Employee Retirement Income Security Act. And with that act was birthed the 401k plan. See, now with the 401k plan, as you are working, you're contributing to your own retirement. You're contributing to your own retirement. And let me tell you something about the 401k. The 401k, now you're contributing to your own retirement. Then you might have companies who might match your contributions to your retirement. Also know that with that being said, folks, your retirement is not sitting in some vault with pixie dust. Your retirement, folks, your retirement is actually going into the stock market. Your retirement is going into the stock market. And let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you, folks. Man, when your retirement going into a stock market, the broker is getting paid whether you lose money or make money. Even if you lose money, the broker still gets paid. The broker's income still go up, go up, go up, go up. If you lose, the broker still gets paid. Okay? Whether you lose or not in the stock market. Now your 401 is sitting in the stock market. How many employees countrywide do you know or can you say that have knowledge of how the stock market works? Do they understand investment terms such as derivatives, hedge funds? Do they understand these terms? Do they understand the lingos of investments? Do they understand that if they were to get hired by a company, if that company is a public company, that they can take some of their money and try to invest in that company or put their money into that company? So if that company ever to lay them off, they still got money in that company. And you got to understand this, folks. Every time a company lays employees off, their stock on Wall Street goes up. You know why? It's because on Wall Street, this shows an increase in revenue, increase in profits. The Wall Street don't care how they got there. They don't care if they laid anybody off or not. That's not their concern. Their concern is an increase in profits on Wall Street. That's why their stock goes up. So let me explain to you folks something. As you saw on my page before this video, I posted a whole list of companies that's filing bankruptcy. When companies are filing bankruptcy, that means they're losing money. And if they're losing money, that means their stock is going down. Here's what you got to understand. And I shared some information about this a little while ago when I talked about you getting yourself prepared for what's to come after the pandemic. Now, what's going to happen, folks, is companies are not going to be bringing back a lot of employees. 39 million people filed for bankruptcy. Not bankruptcy, filed for unemployment. A lot of companies are not bringing people back. And there was companies who were already hanging by the thread before the pandemic, like Starbucks. Starbucks just closed 200 stores. 400, I think Starbucks closed 400 stores and another 200 in Canada. But y'all want to be entertained. I probably got a lot of people watching right now because they saw Will and Jada Pinkett Smith in the title. You see what I'm saying? But I told you guys, I know you saw the title. I'm going to talk about them, but don't come here looking for entertainment. I'm not entertaining you. I'm dropping some knowledge here. You need to take this life more serious. Stop having short attention spans. Do some thorough reading. Somebody's sharing some information with you. Listen. So many people are so quick to try to debate because of cognitive dissonance. Everybody don't have the same amount of knowledge. Shut the hell up and listen sometimes. You have two ears and one mouth. The more you speak, the less money you're making. So you have to take time, folks, and just start listening to when somebody's trying to tell your ass something. So you gotta take that in. You gotta take all the information in. It's called information. That's what information is. Break down the word information is to inform. Inform. Take the political lens off your face and look at everything organically. Nothing but just information, folks. If the economy crash, I'm gonna tell you one thing: your 401k is gonna crash. Back in 2008, when it crashed, guess what happened, folks? Guess what happened in 2008? 40% of most people's 401k they lost. 40% of their retirement. 40%. If they've lost 40%, folks, what does that mean when it's time for them to retire? They don't get that back. A lot of people are going to have to still work another job after they retire. You're going to have 70, 75-year-old Uber drivers delivering Uber Eat food to people's doors at 78, almost 80 years old. Is that the American dream? Is that what they teach us in school? To get good grades so we can get a good job? And the job ain't so good? Stop pump faking out here, folks. Be serious about your life. When this economy, when everything opens back up, none of y'all should be the same. Nobody should be the same. You should already have your game plan intact, ready to hit the ground running. As a matter of fact, you should be ready to hit the ground running now. Stop being programmed. Stop letting social media and the mainstream media dictate your life. Stop. We've come too damn far. We're not slaves anymore, y'all. We're in the 21st century. Your answer should be, we have all the technology in the world for you to get yourself better. Seek information. We take technology to order some damn Nikes. That's what we're doing with technology. We do the technology to be entertained. Who's banging Jada Pinkett? Who the hell cares? Who cares? You got to understand something, folks. Let me explain something to you. Will Smith might be worth $250 million. Jada Pinkett might be worth $50 million. Collectively in their household, $300 million. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But let me tell you something. They are also hurt during this pandemic. Everybody is hurting during this pandemic. I know a multimillionaire around the corner from me. I'm not going to say his name, but he be on Twitter. He's worth about $200 million by himself. He's worth about $200 million. He got a lot of hotels, a lot of income producing properties. And he talked about how he haven't been having nobody in his hotels because of the pandemic and how much money he's losing. People are starting to get vulnerable to where they want to start selling assets. And back to my point, just because they both of them are worth $300 million does not mean that they're not hurting in this pandemic. Yeah, they're doing good, but guess what? They don't want to be sitting at $300 million. They want to keep creating cash flow. It's all about cash flow, folks. Read the book. As a matter of fact, read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It talks about it. It's about cash flow. It's not about saving and sending and having money sit. It's about cash flow. That's what it means. Cash flow meaning that your currency is current. Just like the ocean. The ocean never sits still. The ocean is current. The current is what moves the ocean, folks. Cash flow is the same way. Money is not money anymore. It's currency for a reason. It's currency because it has to be current. It has to flow. If it's not flowing, it don't mean nothing. The American dollar is dead. It's useless, folks. Thank you, Jeanette. Jeanette Harris just said it. Money has to move, folks. That is why it's called currency. You got to educate yourself, folks. Stop entertaining yourself. Stop worrying about what celebrity is sleeping with what celebrity. That's bullshit. That's private life. Do you want somebody to know who you sleeping with? Do you want your personal business out there? Come on, folks. Stop being entertained by that bullshit and start educating yourself. Educate yourself, educate yourself, educate yourself, and get better. You should be ready to hit the ground running. This will be about 5 months in this pandemic. About 5 months in this pandemic, according to when the media put it out there. Right? Let me tell you something. In terms of what you need to do, folks, you should not be the same if this pandemic ends tomorrow. Because after this pandemic ends, you're still going to have another 18 months left of recession. There's still going to be companies trying to hinder you from traveling. And let me tell you another thing. If they push this mandated vaccines, and let me tell you, black folks who vote heavily Democrat, is the Democrats that's pushing this. And no, I'm not neither Republican or Democrat. To me, they're both evil. And to me, there's no such thing as lesser of the two. That's bullshit. That's an excuse. But let me tell you this. They're pushing mandated vaccines. You're not going to be able to travel. You're not going to be able to get a license. And that's gonna also cause a recession, because there's a lot of folks out here going to say, you ain't vaccinating me with shit. And I'm one of them. You ain't sticking me with shit. Period. That's going to cause a lot of companies to fold. You're talking about overflowing in the jails? Guess what? There's going to be a lot of people driving with dead license because they saying, I ain't getting no sticking. They ain't sticking me in my arm for no vaccine, especially with the damn nano chip in it. You can call that conspiracy theory all you want. If you look at Bill Gates talking on TED Talks, he's admitting a lot of this stuff. See, you guys don't want to believe something because it's not coming from Fox, CNN, ABC, or NBC. If it's not coming from them, see, they programmed you. They got you as a slave. They control your life. They tell you to put a mask on. You walk around with a mask and exhaling and inhaling your own toxins. They tell you to do that. You do it. That's exactly what it is, folks. If it don't come from mainstream media, it ain't true. Oh, fact check it. Guess what? They fact check this stuff. If it don't come from mainstream media, Facebook got their own little fact checkers that's been pretty much funded by Bill Gates and George Soros. But that's another sermon for another Sunday. I'm gonna stay on point here. But what I'm trying to make you understand, folks, is you got to be different. You got to put yourself in a better position. Put yourself in a better position, because this is not going to last forever. And if you still go back out there with the same mentality that you did before the pandemic, man, I'm going to tell you something, you're going to lose. Because a lot of companies are not going to hire a lot of these people. These companies are strategizing right now on what they're going to do, how they're going to come back out after this pandemic, and how they're going to survive this current recession. They're going to say, you know what, this is what we were averaging before the recession, before the pandemic. And this is how much we need to be averaging after the pandemic, because if this happens again, we won't fall by the wayside. Their companies are thinking like that. All of them are thinking like that. And you need to be thinking like that. You need to be learning how to play chess. Stop getting mad with me because I'm trying to teach you chess and you prefer to play Connect Four. I'm trying to show you chess. I'm trying to teach you how to be 4 steps ahead. Exactly. How to work with less. David Adams said, tell a vision. And just like he said, tell a vision, let me tell you about reading. Reading is fundamental. Listen to what I said. Reading is fun to mental. I'm going to say that again. Reading is fun to mental. Pick up a book, folks. There are plenty of books out there. Plenty of books out there. You got Conspiracy of the Rich, Robert Kiyosaki. You have Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, The Millionaire Next Door. You have my book, Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. Gotta change your mind. If you want a copy of my book, I'll put the link in your inbox. Inbox me, say where's the link to your book? I'll send it to you. Right? My book has 4.5 stars on Amazon. It has a 5-star on Barnes and Noble. I'll send you the link. Start stimulating your mind with something that's going to help you become greater than where you are. Help you become better than where you are. It's going to teach you how you can surround yourself with people who are better than you. See, that's the thing. People don't surround themselves with better people. They surround themselves with people who is more screwed up than you are. Blind leading the blind. That ain't helping you. You broke up with a boyfriend, you're depressed, you want to start acting evil and shit like that. So you go hang around other people who want to act evil because they broke up with a boyfriend. Looking for comfort. Stop looking for comfort and start looking for healing. You don't go to a dentist for a foot injury. I hope this makes sense to you guys. If this makes sense, if this has been helpful to you, please put that in the comments. Please create a watch party for this video if you think it's helpful. If not, that's okay, but share it anyway, because I'm sure it's somebody that you know that this information can help. So with that being said, folks, I want you to do me one last huge favor. Thank you, Dan Rosier. She said my book is great. Appreciate it. Really much needed. I appreciate it. David said he need my book. Yeah, inbox me, brother Dave, and I'll send you the link so you can order it on Amazon or Barnes and Noble, one of the two. I'll send that link to you. Okay. Thank you, Diane, for sharing. I appreciate it. So with that being said, folks, I want you to take care of each other, be nice to each other, stop lying on one another, stop lying to one another, and be honest, have integrity, have dignity and honor. With that being said, I want you to sing like no one can hear you, dance like no one can see you, love like you've never been hurt, and live like it's heaven on earth. I'm Jay Hunter Lee. I love you, and the world needs you. So stop that damn texting and driving. Peace and blessings, folks. Have a great day.